Welcome, sweet yogi. Thank you for being here. Today, I'm going to go through an afternoon pick-me-up practice. So you may want something to sit on like a yoga block. For afterwards, you may fancy a pillow and a cushion, sorry, and an eye pillow if you feel like relaxing for a few moments. So bring yourself up onto a block, a bolster, a folded blanket. It's just a nice feeling to come to our seat and just to be ourselves for a few moments. So I'm just giving you time to settle into your breath and to just acknowledge your breath. The breath is amazing. It is full of information about how we are. And by regulating our breath or just having conscious awareness of our breath, we can change from a state of feeling anxious, slightly stressed, overstimulated, and bring ourselves into a much calmer space where we can be much more creative and just feel more centered and not use our energy all in a stressy kind of way. So this practice is going to be about just finding yourself again, and we'll do some light movement as well. Okay, so from that seated position, let the spine be nice and long. So without tension in your back, make the spine a little bit longer, even feeling like the crown of the head is drawing up towards your ceiling. Yet at the same time, noticing that you are in your seat, you're in your pelvis, on your sit bones. And just cycle through a few breaths where you're not really adjusting it. If anything, what you'll be doing is releasing tension just by letting a sigh come out. We give ourselves this space to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. We can just let some stacked energy in us leave. After a few out-breaths through your mouth, you'll probably feel like you want to then return to breathe in and out through the nose. And inside, notice how things have shifted. Hopefully a down regulation. You just feel like you're a bit softer, a bit more open to things. And then ease. Okay, so let's bring in some movement. If you wish to just stay sitting and breathing, then that's fine as well. So from here, we're going to breathe in through the nose, lift the arms up, and then breathe out, let the arms travel back down. Just do that a few more times. Notice how you receive your in-breath, and notice how you let your out-breath go. Is there a natural process to this? I let this be uncomplicated, simple. Simple is easy, and we can drop in more deeply. So the last one here, breathe in. And breathe out. Anytime you feel like breathing out through your mouth, then you can do that. So one arm's going to come up with the inhale, and then we're going to stay on our sit bones, but reaching over to the side. Breathe in, lift up in the center, and again over to the side. 3 of these. This is 2. Inhale. And breathe out, exhale. Let's stay here, still breathing and just creating a bit of movement in the wrist, the hand, the fingers. You could clench the fingers into the palm of the hand and then spread them, or rotate at the wrist. And then coming out of that, inhale, breathe out, let the hand come down. Other side, so breathing in and breathing out. Inhaling up again and over you go, really making sure you're in your sit bones. And then for this last one, we're going to stay over there. And again, it's either the clenching the fist and releasing, or circling through and around in the wrist joint. And then inhale, reach up, and exhale, release down. Notice your breath again. Notice how that feels on the inside for you. Okay, this time, inhale, bringing the arms just to shoulder height, crossing them in front of you. So you choose which arm is going to be underneath, and just remember that. Bending the underneath arm. I'm just going to turn a little bit so that I'm not blocking your view. And from here, let's press the straight arm, which will be your top arm, into the bent arm, the arm underneath. It will give a real stretch across the top of the shoulder and around the neck. So here, if you want to just rotate the head around or tilt it away and breathe. So some of us will need stillness and some of us will need movement. Both are fine. So pressure-wise, again, it depends what you've been doing. Anywhere between sort of 30 and 60, I'd say, %, but nothing like 100. Too much. And then lift the head, release the arms, and just roll your shoulders around. So this is a lovely stretch across the top of the shoulder, down the side of the neck. If you've been at the computer or doing a lot of work in front of you earlier today, this is a nice way to let the tension in the muscles go. So breathe in, up to shoulder height, switching the arms the other way around. And pressing the straight arm into the bent arm. Turning the head around, tilting it, breathing. Really having the intention of releasing and letting go tension, thoughts, whatever started to accumulate, causing you unnecessary tension, then here, this is your opportunity, release it. And then release the arms down. Again, shoulder rolls, whatever works for you. Okay. And then come to interlace your fingers, elbows a little bit closer together. And we're just going to rotate the wrists here. Again, if you've been doing very repetitive things today, using a mouse or chopping things in the kitchen, iron shopping, yeah, this is really useful. And then back the other way. Really keep the rotation in the wrists and not so much in the shoulders. Yeah, this is very much in the wrists. Okay, turn the palms to face me. Shoulders are relaxed and down. Breathe in, take the arms up in the air. Now, if this is difficult for your shoulders, just bend your elbows here. Watch that your ribs don't come forwards towards me. Keep them back so that the core engages. Take a breath in, reach up, and as you exhale, palms still facing away from you, bringing them down just to your heart height. Inhale, take them up, bending at the elbows whenever you need to, and then exhale, releasing down. And again, one more. Breathe in. And this time, come down slowly all the way to your lap. And maybe turning the palms up for a moment. Noticing your breath. And then turning your palms down and noticing your breath again. Okay. And just a seated twist here, bringing one hand over to the opposite knee and that opposite hand behind you, lifting up through your spine here. So we want to let the head be the last thing to turn. Navel first of all, then your ribs, then your chest, throat, and eyes. You could even shut your eyes down if you've been very busy, if you had a very busy, distracted morning, then I'd keep your eyes shut down. So you're minimizing stimulation, allowing you to return home. So inhale, lift up all the way through your spine, come back. Head, throat, ribs, navel, back to the center. And switch the hand to the other knee, hand behind you as support. And you could always put a height. If you've got short arms, for instance, you might find a block will work better for you. So again, lift all the way up through the spine, turning from the navel, turning from the ribs, heart, throat, and eyes. Letting the spine be lifted, but you remain in your seat. Inhale, coming back in reverse. So that's eyes, throat, heart, ribs, navel, and you're back to center. Okay, let's come off our blocks now and just come onto hands and knees. If your knees are troublesome in any way, then you could always pad literally here at the front. You could also bring something like a cushion between your thigh and your calf, and that opens the kneecap. Sometimes that's just enough for people who have knee issues to be able to sit in this pose. Okay. If you want to, you could take a block with you in front. We're going to rest the forehead at the third eye point. And again, let your breath release. Maybe turning your head from side to side. You go from temple to temple. But really breathe into your back here. Open the ribs. Let the tail curl under. And then just find a still point in the center. Just a bit of peace and quiet. Remember, this is a pause in your afternoon. And then lift yourself up just a small distance and then walk your hands, keeping your knees as they are, walking your hands over to the right side. So if you want a full stretch in the left side of your body, please just extend that left arm a little bit further away and you'll feel the stretch. And I invite you to tilt and turn your body. So think of the left ribs going to the floor and the right ribs rising up. And there might be a place where you're comfortable to get the elbow on the floor and just be in the length on this left side. It goes right up from the hip to the waist, to the ribs. to the armpit, shoulder, and then back through the middle, over to the other side. Same thing here. If you're not needing or not wanting the stretch, that's fine. Just stay over here on the left. If you are wanting the stretch, take the right hand and arm further forwards. Instantly, you feel the difference. And then it's a little dropping, right ribs down, left ribs up. Notice how you fall more towards the floor. And then slowly back to center. Coming up onto hands and knees, taking those hands slightly forwards of your shoulders. Okay, so we're going to think of taking the collarbones forwards, the belly drops, and then arching, letting the spine curve up towards your ceiling, chin into chest. So inhale, dropping the belly, lengthening the back. Exhale, chin in. And you can have movement here as well. Movement through the spine, movement through the hips, backwards and forwards a little bit. Okay, we're coming to the end, everybody. So breathe in, breathe out. One final one. And then bring yourself onto your sit bones again, crossing your legs if you want, or out in front. And just taking a moment to settle in. 2 breaths. Let's close our practice. Release the arms. Inhale, take them overhead. Palms come together and return to your heart space. Okay, thank your body, thank your breath, and I thank you for being here. Namaste.